back and look what the cat dragged in. It's a role that changed his life forever, bagging the lead in Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical Aspects of Love in 1989.
And now, 30 years on, and with a long programme of success, Michael Borley's taken us behind the West End curtain in his brand new memoir, Different Aspects. Good morning, Michael.
We've been waiting of you as a bubba. Can you get it up again, guys? Look
Isn't time a cruel mistress? Bloody hell. Excuse my French. Oh, there you go.
We're very excited about this because you've been talking about this a lot. Every time you come in, you talk about it. It's finally done. It's here. You've got your script all over. Let's get it out. This is it, Michael Ball, Different Aspects. And you've chosen to kind of focus on the performance side.
Well, I've been asked to do a memoir a lot. And I've always resisted it. And then last year, I wrote the novel, and that did all right.
So great.
Oh, it was, yeah. It's going to be made into a TV.
I know.
And all sorts.
It's not.
Yeah, it is, though.
Direct it.
No, and write the theme tunes. So I got the bug for writing. So I thought, OK, I found myself in this kind of unique situation.
Yeah.
34 years after being in the original Aspects, which completely changed my life in so many ways. I'm now doing this new production. So I thought, well, this is two great milestones in my life.
Yeah.
So let's look at me then and who I was and how that production came together and all the people I met and the journey to get there. And then let's look at this production and how it's changed, how you put on a musical. I wanted people who were interested.
I've just realised that. I'm so sorry, Michael.
What?
I've just realised I've still got Madonna's. I'm so sorry. I didn't realise. I'm so sorry, James.
Honestly, love, I'm so
sorry. I was
sorry.
sitting here and I was like, I was listening to Michael, and then I realised I'd still got the bracelet.
If anyone was going to give it to you, it would be you.
Oh, thank you, James.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Nice.
Back to you, Michael.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right. Leave it in my dressing room, love. Fine.
We've got to talk about the brilliant mind that is Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah.
When you first met him, what was that experience like?
It was to audition for Phantom of the Opera. They were doing the cast change, and Cameron McIntosh, who produced it, phoned me up and said, right, come in, we're doing the cast change, the part of Raoul I think you'd be great for, come and meet Andrew. And now I've idolised Andrew all my life.
Yeah.
Biggest, most important shows, Jesus Christ Superstar, when I was a kid, watching that. It's one of the reasons I want to do it. So I'm going to go and meet the great man. We went to the Her Majesty's Theatre, where Phantom's on, went up to into the top of the building, this amazing rehearsal room, and it's just him and the piano and Mike Reed, who's the musical director, and we met and we chatted, and I'm trying to be cool.
Yeah.
And he said, right, well, let's have a sing. Do you know All I Ask of You? And I said, well, I've heard Cliff and Sarah Brightman's version. So I'll give it. I don't read music, so we'll give it a go. So I started singing. As I don't read, I don't know what the notes, so I'm not doing the harmonies.
So can he tell that you can't read?
Well, I'm singing. You know, he's get to the end, and instead of doing the sort of lower harmony, I went for the full-on soprano, big old note. And he went, oh, we might put that in. And yeah, so that was kind of...
That's amazing.
So that's where the relationship started with him, and he was writing Aspects at that time. So that's how I got involved in the original
it's funny.
shop work.
You just say Cameron McIntosh's name. I mean, meeting him himself, like when you're first starting out, must have been a huge thing. I mean, we owe that guy an unbelievable debt, don't we?
Yeah, a huge debt. I've just been to see Old Friends, the new Sondheim compilation show. Amazing.
Is it good?
It's amazing. It's showbiz as it should be.
Yeah. So, Michael, is this about the two versions of Aspects, or is this everything that's happened to you in between?
It's not everything that's happened. It's
memoir.
It's a memoir. So it's the people I've met, the funny stories, and also I think it'd be really interesting for people who don't know how the business works.
Yeah.
You know, people who are thinking, maybe young people thinking of a career going into what it is actually like, what it's required of you to be a professional.
I always like to ask this of people when they write a biography and they've had a brilliant long career. How easy was it to write? How easy was it to remember? Did you take yourself away? Did they flow? They flow quite freely.
I got someone to kind of interview me.
Yeah.
So it would, and then what I did is I went and interviewed Andrew and Trevor Nunn and Don Black and Charlie Hart, who wrote the show, all of us who were there originally, all the creative team originally.
Yeah.
And by doing that and just talking to them and recording it, it would bring stories and incidents back.
Because the memories of memories are really interesting, aren't they? Suddenly you go down
and stuff that I'd completely forgotten was clear in their mind, and I was reminding them of things.
Tell us about the story when you went on a private jet, on Michael Jackson's private jet with Andrew Lloyd Webber. What happened? How did that come about?
This was we were going to do the musical.
Yeah.
And Andrew said, I think we need to record Love Changes Everything and turn it into a single. We'd done it in concert, me and Sarah Brightman, and no one had heard it other than the concert people. I think it should be a single. So can you be at... I can't even remember where it was. We're going to get the helicopter, his helicopter, to take us to the private airport, to fly us to Austria, to put down the orchestral track with the Austrian Philharmonic Orchestra.
Yeah.
I think I could probably manage that, Andrew. Yeah, go on, love.
Let me just check the diary, Andrew.
It was. Talk about another world.
So you actually was on a private jet?
I was on the private jet with Andrew, and he said... And no, it was his jet that he leased to Michael Jackson.
Oh,
it wasn't Michael Jackson's jet. Michael Jackson borrowed it off him.
That's incredible.
It's another world.
What a life.
Well, you know, I mean, that's your lifestyle now.
Yes, Dermot.
I get helicoptered into Hammond Towers in Birmingham. Michael, one thing I didn't know, and, you know, I know you very well and have interviewed you many times and chatted many times, I had no idea that when you first started, you wrestled with self-doubt, even with that voice.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I've talked about this a lot. And it's amazing how many people in this business do it, who suffer from suddenly get imposter syndrome, suddenly panic attacks. I mean, they're awful. They're really, really awful. And it took me out of Les Mis. I had to walk away from it.
So where were you in your career when you started having these? Because it wasn't at the very, very start,
at the very beginning. Yeah, Les Mis.
So you were performing, and then
I had to, and I was doing Les Mis. I got ill. That spiral happened of me going into a dark plain depression and the panic attacks, to the extent where I would get on a tube to go to work and start having them there just at the idea of it, and I'd come back.
Seriously?
Yeah.
And what weren't you enjoying? Like, were you enjoying the performance at the time?
No, I wasn't enjoying anything.
So that wasn't... So it wasn't like a release? You weren't going out there going... Okay,
the worst.
What got you out of it?
It was leaving the show, doing 9 months of not talking to anyone, becoming agoraphobic, finally thinking... It was 2 phone calls. Cameron saying, you need to... or get off the pot.
Yeah.
Because... so come and audition for Phantom. And I got asked to do a live TV show for Miss England. And I thought, if I can get through this song live on television and nobody knows, that it'll never get worse than this. So I kind of taught myself.
So you didn't even have no therapy?
Nothing at all.
Got out there and just got on with it?
And so I get... But it's interesting. The kind of thing has reversed. I talk about this in the book, the sort of... the self-discipline that you need in order to get onto the stage, and that you need to in order to handle these doubts, because everyone gets them.
Yeah.
And it's finding those tricks... And it's about cracking on, and that's kind of what I did. I cracked on, and I thought, you know, I don't want my life going down this path. I'm gonna deal with this, and it's making your brain acknowledge when something is happening. And a panic attack, for example, I still feel things bubbling up, but and what that is, that's a physical release of all the adrenaline. So it's like a wave. And I've taught myself to ride the wave as opposed to drown. So I use that energy.
Great advice.
Isn't it?
And focus it.
So, honestly, Mike, I speak to you for like all day. You're so empowering. I
know.
Oh, me too.
And just lastly, before we talk about where are you with the novel and the TV adaptations?
That will be... So it's going to be busy. I'm going out on the road in March. And the second novel is due to be released next October.
Come back to us
and but the film rights have been booked, they've been bought, and it's going to be made into a series.
We love when you come in.
Do the job, Al. Come on.
Yeah, here it is. Michael Ball's memoir, different aspects. It's out now.
So much better than Dawn French's.
Also, you just...
Well, it's up to you to decide. Buy both.
Just been Hammonded, though, and that just, if anything says Sunday Times bestseller,
Number one.
it's that.
Number one.
Oh, bless you, love.
Until Dawn comes on.
Showbiz
Joint
pickle.
number ones.
Showbiz
Thanks,
pickle.
Michael.
Thank you, my
Thanks so
lovely.